How well can you remember the most famous logos? Every day we see countless ads on TV, billboards, and there was probably one that played before this video started. Since logos are everywhere, we should remember what they look like, so today I'm putting that to the test. I'm gonna try my best to recreate some of the most iconic logos from memory. No references, just my brain and a blank canvas. Here's the plan. I'm gonna start by designing the simplest logo out there, being Microsoft. Before each round, I'll give myself a timer based on how quickly I think I can design it. I'll try my best to be as accurate as possible, then we'll compare it to the real thing, giving it a score out of 10. Anyway, let's just go. Okay, so we're gonna start out with some rectangles. I'm forgetting how to do this. Rectangle, rectangle. Then we copy both of those, move them down. Then we gotta color them. The first one's red of some sort. Half of the time is gone. This one's gonna be, I think, blue. This one's gonna be green. 2 seconds left. Okay. I overestimated my abilities a little bit. Right once the timer started, I just forgot how to use Photoshop completely. Okay, be kind to me. We're gonna extend it by another 30 seconds. 1 minute total. That might have to minus a point off of our total though. 3, 2, 1, go. Green goes to blue. This one, yellow. I think that's right. Let me just adjust the colors slightly because they're not that bright, I don't think. I keep selecting the... Okay. My problem was I kept not selecting the next shape when I thought I did. I think I switched the blue and the green and the colors are definitely off. Let's check with the real thing. Okay, I actually did get the colors right. The actual shades are definitely very off. But I mean, since it's so simple, I think I got pretty accurate. I'm gonna go 8 out of 10. Next up, I'm gonna move on to Microsoft's main competitor, being Apple. Now, I was gonna give myself a minute for this one, but based off how the last one went, I'm gonna need a little more time, I think. 2.5 minutes. And yeah, let's just see what we can do. I'm thinking we start with some sort of circle. We're gonna add on some points onto here so that we can add the curves, like the bottom. The top also has that sort of curve, so let's, I think... Oh, this is so trippy. It's like, I think I have the vision in my head, but actually designing it, it's going so much worse. This is gonna go not as far out. We're gonna add another shape. It's gonna be a little oval, and these little handles are gonna make it so we can change the angle of that angle. So that it's a little sharper. That's more of a leaf shape now. Let's rotate that, stretch it a little bit, shrink it a little bit. And then we're gonna do one more shape being a circle, and we'll make that white so that it's the negative space. Okay, leaf is bigger, definitely. What else is off with this? Oh, it looks so wrong. Maybe this is a more shallow bite, like this. Maybe even smaller. That angle's really bad right here. Yeah, I mean, the time's up. That's it. It's like you can definitely tell I'm going for the Apple logo, but that definitely looks off. Just before I do the reveal, I want to see how close I could get with a little more time. We scoot things over a little like this. We make this angle a little wider. These can go a little over. I feel like the bottom almost looks a little too fat. Oh, goodness. Oh, man, it's kind of tricky. Dang. Anyway, let's pull up the real version again. Yeah, okay, so I was right about this angle needing to come in more. This actually is pretty accurate down here. Not too bad, but I did just cheat for that whole second one. If we're scoring the original one, maybe we'll do I don't know, 6 out of 10. Let's put those all away and we'll move on to Pringles. Now, this is kind of an interesting one because there's 2 main versions we could go for, being the old and new ones that look something like that. There were a lot of people upset with the logo change, so I'm just gonna try to design both of them in 15 minutes. 3, 2, 1. So I'm gonna start with a big rectangle. I wanna say it's a red kind of like that. Then we just get a nice oval. I wanna say it's about that amount of curve. And then we're gonna have to mess with the angle a little bit. I believe it's something kind of like this, maybe tilted up a little bit. That looks pretty good. Let's stretch it out a little more. Then we're gonna do a little circle for an eyeball and another one. His head's kind of tilted at that angle, meaning we need to change the sizes of these eyeballs. I want to say the eyes are pretty far apart. Maybe I'm gonna do the mustache real quick. So we got like this sort of shape and this sort of shape, and then we'll extend it like so. I wanna say it goes about like this. Yeah, that looks pretty good. We'll do that same sort of thing on this side as well. Something definitely looks off here. I know he has eyebrows now. That was a big change, was they changed it from like a hair swoosh to like eyebrows. Okay, not the worst. Maybe a little thinner though. Oh man, this is a lot trickier than I was expecting. Okay, let's just copy this. I don't have a lot of time to make a new one. We'll do something like that. I mean, that's essentially it, I think. Does he have the little bow tie? I don't know if he does on the new one or the old one. Now I'm really like questioning myself. If he did, it would be like this. Color. How do I change the color? It's not letting me. Oh, there we go. Up here, darker red, like a this. That's something. We've got 10 minutes left. Maybe we just move on to the other version. Okay, we'll start with the same oval because I think it was about the same shape. I'm actually going to copy over the mustache just to be more efficient, along with the eyes. I know the eyes were smaller before. Eye placement really makes a big difference, but I want to say it's about like that. And I know there's little shines in the eyes. You know what I'm talking about. I'll put a little version on the screen so that you can see what it's supposed to look like. Okay, I'm actually gonna copy the mustache again for the hair because that's a pretty similar shape, I think. Oh goodness, okay. Okay, then the main difference is that it's gotta be brown, something around here. Okay, everything kind of needs an outline and a little thicker. This one's gotta go up. And so does this one because they're more in the foreground. Okay, now I just need to add some lines in here. Get a little smoothing so that I get nice smooth lines. I believe it's something like that. I think we got a similar texture up on the hair too. I think he's got a little tie thing. Am I mixing it up with Colonel Sanders? I swear there's something like this. Let's add in some more details. So we got like eyeballs, little shines. That brings a lot of life into it. I was thinking this earlier. The Pringles man, like along with Santa, I feel like he's one of the people that you could say is jolly. Like jolly is not a very frequent adjective I'd use, but I feel like he fits. We can kind of just add some stuff onto here. I will bring down the opacity or just how much you see it. Maybe under the mustache, there's a little more shading. I don't know if I'm making that up or if I just think it looks decent. Okay, let's do the shading on the hair as well, the same way as we did on the mustache. I want to say that's a little too bright, but I just don't have time to think about it. I don't know if this is a thing or not. I kind of want to say it's not just for the sake of me not needing to do it. But let's replace it with this and give that a stroke. Maybe we can give that a little shading too, just to make it fit with everything else. Then we'll get just some tiny details with like the bow, I guess. No, that doesn't look good. Maybe I can do that, but with like really low opacity. So like this. And I think some of the angles are off too. Something like that. Let's get a little more shading. Shadow on the bottom. Not that much, just a little bit. And same with this one. Shadow on the bottom. Okay, 2, 1, that's it. Oh, man. Okay, I can immediately see some problems, especially here. This tie thing has to be bigger. I know that. But man, like there is no thought behind those eyes. Anyway, I guess let's compare our versions to the real one. I am a little worried about this. Pringles logo. So here's the actual versions. Wow. Okay. Guys, this is so much harder than I thought it would be. Like that curve has got to be way more like curvy, I guess. It's way bigger than I thought. I didn't realize how similar they were. I thought they changed the logo more than they did. Anyway, I actually got pretty close with the coloring of the mustache and hair here, and the eye glints are just really simple dots instead of whatever I did here. I mean, if you ask me though, for 15 minutes, I wouldn't say that's too bad. Maybe a 6 out of 10 again? I don't know, maybe down to a 5. Let me know what you guys think. Also, just so you know, not all of these are gonna be this rushed. I'm gonna give myself a bit more time on the next ones. But before I do that, I'm gonna do one really quick one, being Toyota. Toyota. This is the most famous car brand in the world. The reason I'm doing this after Pringles is because it kind of looks more complicated. Like the shapes are really simple, obviously, but it's kind of got like a metallic sheen on it. And I think getting that shading is gonna be a little more complicated. Let's go 7 minutes. For the longest time, I did not realize that the Toyota logo was like a T. I thought it was just like ovals. It's trying to mimic a T with that shape and this shape. I want to say it's about there. Copy that one, flip it. That'll touch the bottom, and this goes down. I want to make it thicker a little bit, all the strokes. Something looks off here. I think maybe this middle one's too big or something, and the stroke's too thick now for sure. I just got to move on. Gradient overlay. This is going to give us our metal look. This won't be quite black. It'll be just a gray. It'll only be white at the very, very top. Not even white, just a really light gray. Maybe inner shadow, but it's at like an angle like this. Okay. Oh, bevel and emboss. That's the obvious answer. Yeah. I want to get like a metal texture in here almost. Let's see how fast I can do that. Just something like this. Flip it on its side maybe. That's pretty good. Now I think the gradient is a little off. It's got to be a little darker, I think. Toyota. Now I was thinking I was gonna just record this as like a more laid back video, you know, but I'm realizing that with the timer, it's very much not laid back. Maybe the bevel and emboss has to be a little bigger so that the whole thing's kind of round. And I want to soften it a little bit so that it's actually round instead of hard angles. I mean, honestly, I think that's pretty good. Anyway, let's just compare that to our real thing. Toyota logo. Okay, I knew it. They did not have a metal texture at all. Like that was just completely irrelevant. They did have a little more contrast on the inside like this. So I should have made that bevel and emboss more like that. But overall, I think I got that shape pretty good. That like basically fits the same space. And I didn't cheap out and just do this version where it's just black, you know, that would have been way easier. Oh, another interesting change I'm seeing is that the ovals kind of change thicknesses as they go along. So like it's thin, thin, thick, 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 thin, thin, you know? And that's not something I accounted for. They're all just like the same thickness all the way around. I'll give myself an 8. All right, moving on from the simple ones, we've got universal. This is like the big earth one where it's like, bah, 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 you know? I think they do have like a black and white logo that's just like a really simplistic globe with text, but I'm going for the full thing. I want like that whole thing in space and like the letters and all the detail. Anyway, for this one, I think we can go for maybe 20 minutes. So I am gonna use the help of stock images, mainly Earth and space. I don't know which angle the Earth is supposed to be at, but my guess is it has like North and South America and maybe some of like Africa and Europe. Here we go. There's one from NASA. Thank you, NASA. We'll remove the background and get our own. A big thing is just the universal text. We'll take that from just a minute ago. This is like a really big, bold font. Let's make that white so it's a little more visible. I think it's a little tilted. I guess it's just metallic letters. So maybe we copy that same metal texture from before. Then I am gonna give it a stroke. I think it has like gold on the edges of the letters, but I want that to have the metal texture too. Okay, maybe I have to change the blend mode. Yeah, I want the letters to be a little brighter. Let's convert that to a smart object. That way we can warp it. I'm forgetting which way it bends. I want to say it's kind of down, just slightly. And they're supposed to be very 3D letters, like big blocks. And right now it does not look like that, but we want that to be more of a metal color. The problem is, I know that these letters, they're supposed to point this way, but these letters are supposed to point the opposite way, like this, since it's like curving all the way around. And I don't know the best way to do that. Then this whole thing will get a drop shadow. I think the Earth has different shading on it. Maybe this sort of thing. Maybe we get some like lens flares in there. Then with that, we change the blend mode to lighten. That's pretty good. I think maybe we flip that. Let's keep messing with some different aspects, like an inner shadow sort of thing. That's only affecting a certain angle. Not great, but it's okay. Maybe now we can do like some bigger edits on everything. So with this, we can use the dodge tool. That kind of just lets you brighten up certain areas. It's really subtle, but it can help quite a bit. You can see the before and after. I think the whole Earth is maybe a little too bright. So let's bring that down a little bit. And maybe we adjust like certain areas that it is brighter. Okay, what else needs to happen here? Ooh, you know what would be funny? If I actually like animated this with my own version. I've got 6 minutes to do that. Let's send it. I'm gonna pull open Premiere, which is the video editing software I use. So we drop in all of our elements like so. We extend everything. It ends here. That's what we know. But it starts way over here. There's an effect I need to add, basic 3D. This will make it so that we can swivel it, and then it'll end up right here. Okay, I also got to record my own version of this real quick. So like, boom, 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 boom. Oh boy, I did it. I know that wasn't accurate, especially the song. It was a little basic, we can say. But for 20 minutes, recreating the whole thing, we're fine. That wasn't too bad. Let's see how close we actually got. Okay. I was right about some things that I just wasn't able to pull off. So I knew that it included both Americas and Africa and Europe. I just couldn't find the right angle there. I did kind of the opposite thing I should have with the lighting. That's a lot closer. I was also totally right about like the gold border on the letters and how it goes in on this side and in on this side. You know, I'm gonna say that's an A for effort. 9.3 out of 10. I don't think that's accurate, but there you go. Okay, next up we got a bit of a scary one. That being Starbucks. It's scary because I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it right. Maybe we go like 20 minutes. So starting with a circle, of course. I actually do like the Starbucks green quite a bit. I don't know the best way to replicate it. Maybe somewhere around there. The face will be in the very middle. Maybe the face is about that big. I wanna say the chin's a little pointy. I think there's a crown up here. I'm gonna start with another circle, and the original circle is gonna go back to green. Let's bring the forehead down because this is gonna be the crown. I wanna say it's just like a 3-pointed crown, or is it 5 points? Is it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3? I feel like it might be 5. Bring that down, and that one too. Oh, I think there's a little star on the crown. I could be totally making that up, but I'm gonna go for it. I think there's a way to just make a star shape. Star ratio, 100, I guess. Oh, nope, that's a pentagon. Oh, star ratio, I can do it right here. There we go. That's cool. Maybe we do it like that. That's great. Okay, I've wasted like 10 minutes already on what? I gotta speed things along. I'm going to just start by doing the face. We've got like little eyeballs doing like this sort of thing. That doesn't look right. I know there's a little smile. I don't know how that looks. Maybe, guys, this is crazy. Okay, more shapes, more shapes. I know there's hair. I think there's like 3 main locks of hair or something. I thought I would just have a nice chill time making these designs, whatever, but no. This is bad news. Flip that. Boom. I think it's a mermaid is what it's supposed to be. We do this sort of thing. Okay, let me mess with the angles because those definitely got messed up. I was doing a little research on Starbucks to just see what was up with it. I obviously was avoiding all logos. I wasn't trying to cheat or anything. Not that that would even help me at this point. Gosh. When they were deciding on the name Starbucks, it literally just came down to one of the owners saying that the letters ST sounded good together. Like st. Like that's a strong start. And then they came across a character in the book Moby Dick who had the name Starbuck, and they just took that and ran, I guess. Okay, this is not doing what I want. What is this spike coming from? I can't think about it. I just gotta move on. Okay, I swear she has arms. What would they be doing? I swear it's just like this sort of thing. Oh, goodness. Okay, let's fix up the crown. I'm just going to select this half of it and mask it out. Then we can just duplicate it and flip it. At least that's working out. I think there's maybe like little designs in some of this. Maybe we do it like this so that it can be symmetrical still. The face has got to be smaller, I think. And maybe that can help the hair fit better. Let's just raise it up like so. I don't know how it turns into the tails. I kind of just did a separate shape and just divided it right there. Could be totally inaccurate. I don't know. I think there's like little lines on the tails, just like these arrows almost pointing to the end. Oh boy. Guys, this is so bad. This makes all of my other designs ever look so much better. Like in comparison, this is so bad. Yeah, I don't deserve the rest of the time, man. That's all I'm doing. Guys, it's so bad. Let's see the real one. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, let's start off with the positives. So I was totally right about a few things. 3 strands of hair, for sure. There were arms. They were just going this way into the back of the tails. The crown's interesting. It is kind of 5 points, but the top one is the star instead of being just like this generic crown shape. But anyway, with that, I think we've got our first negative score for real. 2 out of 10. I don't think I deserve any higher than that. Okay, next up, we got a quick bonus logo. That being me. I want to recreate the little oat logo that's on this YouTube channel. I'm curious to see how close I can get it. I only need 3 minutes. This was years and years ago when I made this logo. I started with a picture like this, and I singled out one of the oats. Cut out. There we go. Now you might be wondering what I'm doing because my logo on YouTube is obviously not this realistic. My logo actually used to be based off a real picture, like this. And then I had eyes and a real wide smile. There you go. That's all I need. There's kind of just like a big chunk missing out of his brain right there. Yeah, that's not quite Oats Jenkins. Maybe Oats Johnson? 10 out of 10. What else? Here's all our finished logos. I mean, definitely the more simple ones are more accurate, like Microsoft and Apple. Pringles gives off like a very specific fan art vibe. It's kind of funny. Anyway, I know this wasn't a fix the world episode, but here's me adding the universal logo onto the globe. It's fitting. Let me know if you like this style of video and what else I should design, either from memory or something brand new. I see those suggestions easier if you're a channel member. Thank you guys for the support and subscribe.